ladies and gentle nerds. Yep, that's all you guys in chat. We got Born in the Far East, and all that weird business. We got Mirage and Born in Far. How do we start on that CT side?
Certainly are, but they are going to have a quick start. As ATOX not messing about, straight on in. Decoys left, right, and center, but Lakio is still holding up pretty well. And that's unfortunate. And as that's going to swing the pendulum back in favor of Annihilation for a 3v1, that's not going to work out. It was a fast start from ATOX, but Born in the Far East had other things to say about it.
Yeah, mate, no good at all.
No bueno.
ATOX, no chance, and no pistol on the T side without a plant means this round's going to suck a little bit. Born in the Far East, though, 3 rifles, not worrying too much about that util for a couple of these members, and then just those SMGs as well. ATOX, ooh, risky with a couple of Deagle buys here. Not going to have too much util in the next unless they hit some crispy ones.
Well, we'll see. That's aggression dealt with. It's a fast way to lose an M4, but they're all going to try and peek in the mid on the back of that. Should be cleaned up here.
I hope so. Oh, Flynn. Oh, man. Oh, speaking of Flynn.
The coach.
The coach. So that's what we were probably waiting for, was a 5th member. And unfortunately, their 5th member has not shown up, but their coach has. So that's always a solid start. Who's missing? Zester. Unless Flynn is... Oh, wait, no, Zester's there. Cabal? Cabal's not there. Big man on campus. Doesn't show up for class.
That's going to be interesting. Isn't he in-game leading? T-side?
I presume so.
Okay. We'll see how they go. I mean, the coach should be able to pick up the reins here. We'll see how this works out. AK's for ATOX. Slow, steady. Got that window smoke down. Awaiting out any aggression.
And Born in Far East just going slow. Trying not to burn too much of that util too early on.
Big presence in terms of crossfires in mid, though. But I mean, one deep connector smoke, and that can easily cut them off, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So connector control now as they push back through short. But where to from here for ATOX? I like the adjustment, though, from Born in Far East as they actually put aggression towards A main. They needed to not be locked out. They needed to clear their flanks.
Kato just gonna stay at CT. Pretty solid positions for all of the CTs here. Murakumo able to pick off that ladder player. Not too worried about his flank though, and spins around in time. Kaito fighting from sight is going to have a helping hand through the smoke. Murakumo is going to be able to snatch that one away. Kaito pushing forward, and it's looking unlikely for Zester in a 1v5, especially now he's dead. 3-0, and Born in Far East off to a stellar start with everyone alive on the 3rd.
Yeah, a lot of structure there, and I like the adjustment. As soon as the mid-connector pressure came in, Born in the Far East, as we said, they took that A main control and just removed the threat. But I think Mirakuma, being this impenetrable fortress in jungle, put a real thorn in the side of ATOX. They couldn't get anywhere. They couldn't get up connector. They couldn't remove him. And he created this crossfire that, okay, an airstrike deals with the mid-connector push. They could fumble the bag here, you know, after a solid gun round.
Well, I like where ATOX are. And Mick, he's just looking to try and put his crosshair in the right position. Looks like he is going to be boosted as the solo man with the rifle into window. And they don't seem to be aware. Born in Far East are not expecting this. They are starting to posture for a perfect B split. The bomb going to make its way unders. Lacko from short still doesn't realize that there could be a player all the way in through market. And it's just a matter of moments. Mick spots one, sees the other, and has every bit of info in the world. There's that first pick and the second, and Mick single-handedly has won that round.
Yep. Has to deal with the third, and he does, and that is everything locked out here for Born in Far East. Meerkat, well, it's not so simple for him. He'll be lucky to hold on to his AK at this rate.
I'll acknowledge I understood the reference, Jim, but I don't know if anyone from Asia would get that at all. But look, 2 picks, not too bad. Unfortunately, wasn't ready for Zesta, swinging in from CT. And that is going to be ATOX getting their first on the board with a hero AK of all things.
Yeah, it's going to be, as I said, a quick way to fumble the bag, isn't it? After the hard work in the last gun round, they came through. They looked pretty solid, but ATOX have struck right back.
Yeah.
So City Economy, there's no let off for them. They have to reinvest so heavily back into things. And, well, I mean, a round loss here. Again, just acknowledging that there is aggression coming through that mid connector. Yeah, loss here is going to put them on their back foot, certainly. But a far more passive approach now from the CT side from Born in Far East. Oh, that is a shot and a half.
Zesta. Cracker shot coming through, and another. This B site seems to be a little weaker than the other side, and won't be able to hold the line there. Murakumo online gameplay has that peeker's advantage and will control of the B site as everything's going on. Meerkat going to be able to catch Dobu and Annihilation. A refrag over towards that B side of the map, and Meerkat won't be able to get anything else done. That will be 2 on the board for ATOX. A bit of a cluster of a round, but ATOX still thanking Zesta for those entries.
Yeah, Zesta just locking things well and truly out on that B-bomb site. That opener was an absolute cracker. Just to start things off, but Born in Far East. Now they're the ones on pistols. So they've got, I mean, Kaido, I'm looking to him for this Zeus. Let's see how he can maximise return on that. Already he's taken a bit of damage in the mid window. Just trying to get into position.
That nade does a chunk of damage onto Kaido, but with 9 points to health, there's a chance of him still getting that Zeus kill here. Oh, there is T's coming his direction. B-site taken in the meanwhile by the rest of ATOX, and Mick, lovely flash to allow him to grab that one.
Yeah, saved by the bell, that's for sure. Meerkat, way too far from the action to have any impact, but he might be able to snag a weapon. Feels as though ATOX, after those slow opening rounds, have found a bit of a groove, haven't they?
Yeah. Just took guns. Well, one gun. One gun from Mick. Yeah.
It's not even an upgrade.
There's his timing onto Annihilation here. Making some noise. Flash in. Has blinded Mick. And he decides, against his will. Oh yeah. Okay. Missed upgrade though. So we'll fight for his armor. Like, he didn't even have armor. Just the deagle.
No. Just the deagle.
Unfortunate that he didn't get his mitts on the AK.
Yeah, we'll see they can do here on this gun round though. A little bit light in some of the utility though. Let's see how that plays out for Murakumo and Kaido. It's going to limit some options, but Kaido, he only had a flash in his back pocket, and that's all he needed to get up.
Quite a nasty timing. And Mick as well, just trying to be sneaky, smoking the molly at top mid. But in the meanwhile, we got action here on a Murakumo. Not going to be able to stand up to the big man Dobu, who's looking for more. And it seems to be Flynn to take it. Wind in a 1v2 now to try to bring this one back. And Annihilation Gets a second on the board. Might be looking for more. And he's got a chance here with Flynn falling. He has every bit of info he needs. But I'm not 100% satisfied with his position. Wind.
Yeah.
It's a hard clear.
Oh!
He didn't. He's pulled out util at the worst possible moment. Just went for the half clear. Didn't believe it. An Annihilation hits a cracker.
Yeah. That's, unfortunately, for Win, the worst possible timing on that. Yeah, just not quite dotting his I's, crossing his T's, and not checking the sandwich before he took a bite. Can be costly. Meerkat with the shotgun. Looking for some close range action, I would assume.
We'll see how that goes for him. There is one victim in A main. Oh. There it is. Beautiful timing from Murakumo as well, who's managed to get in here. I think he hears this bomb coming, and he gets the package, he gets the AK, he gets every bit of info that he needs, except the Dobu's position, who now knows one's ran towards A main. He's got himself a potential flank coming back through the crawl spat. Nah, no way. Ain't no way Kaido's hit both those.
That's the linchpin.
Oh. All right, that was an Asian CS round.
Yeah, that was absolute pandemonium. Yep. Just flank on flank on flank. It was layered. It was like an onion, Mac. Except this time, no, there's nowhere to go with that one, to be honest. They get some free upgrades, Mac, and it's exactly what the CT economy wanted at this point in time. They're bolstered, and I guess from having their backs up against the wall, they've got a little bit more breathing space now as a result.
Yeah.
Fight fire with fire, though. Look at this push coming up from Kaido. It's worked for him before.
Gets one. Not the worst thing that could have happened to him there. And timing of the flash was great there for ATOX. Nick and Flynn trying to fully take that mid control, which they certainly do, tearing straight through Born in Far East. And that molly is burning Wind to death. Oh, he just couldn't get out of the flames in time. Committed to the fight, and that was his downfall. ATOX securing 5.
Yeah, the only thing missing there was some earth, Mac, because we had the wind and the fire. We'll see, though. The city economy, as we said, the free upgrades give them a little lifeline there. I liked Kaido's approach, though. I just think he bit off a little bit more than he could chew. What I am liking, though, is from ATOX. They are just not there to be traded. Okay, that one goes missing.
They're here on the B site. Going real damn quick this round, and that's going to be Mick again. Solid on the entries. Murakumo trickles smoke, so he can make his way out E-box, but that's not gone well. And Mick just seems to be tearing straight through the East Russians at the moment, even breaking that smoke, making sure that there's no one hiding, no one lurking, and that the site is safe to plant on.
Yeah, completely locked out here. They're sticking around here, unfortunately, Born in Far East, and that's going to be to their detriment. Mick pops in through the smoke. Wind, how many bites of the cherries are you going to have this round?
One. Just one.
Only one.
But you can eat a whole cherry in one bite. If you can't, you've got an issue.
Well, there is the pip.
So you don't swallow.
Well, you don't eat the pip.
Can if you want.
Let me guess, more fiber?
I don't know, something. Yeah. Fills you up. Probably gives you some kind of micronutrients if you really want to delve into the science of it. And we're going to see ATOX smacking it at B again this time. There's a Deagle here. There's another Deagle, and neither of them did anything. The MAC-10 flying out with Flynn was perfect to tear through the unarmored CTs. And, oh, Flynn. Man's on for the ace. Give it to him, Meerkat. What you got for us, King, with the Nova?
Coach for the ace. How about that? I like the reads from ATOX, actually, even on the last round, recognizing that, like, with the repurchases coming through in the round, there's likely going to be some omissions in terms of utility. So they just go straight towards that fast B, and the layering of the flashes was perfect. And as we saw in this round as well, obviously knowing that they're our position, we're going to be eco. Just a fast approach to B. The Mac 10's doing all the damage.
Mm.
In like Flynn towards that B site. And, well, Meerkat is going to survive this round, but a shotgun's not going to be too much use to him in the next, because I would say that the repurchases will be coming through.
Armor can definitely save a pretty penny, but at the same time, you're going into the last round of the half and you've got 700 left over. Mate, you haven't been touched. Get that helmet. Get that helmet, boy. Could get a kit.
Go on.
Get
Kit
something.
or helmet, it's a choice.
Get anything. Meerkat,
Kit
buy
or
something.
helmet.
Meerkat, don't do this to me. Meerkat, you have... Oh, you have
He's done.
angered me.
He didn't buy
Come
any
on.
of it.
Could have bought a second flash and dropped it for the homies, you know? Like, as well as a kit. There's so many different things you could have done, Meerkat. And instead, he chose violence.
Chose no action. Oh. Making no choice is a choice. However, they have chosen to go B here to their own detriment so far. Annihilation finds a retaliation through the AWP. But a double AWP into B is never going to be super successful. And that is going to be ATOX taking the half 7-5. We'll see if there's a resurgence from Born in the Far East after the break.
If we really want to abbreviate it, we can call them beef.
Five?
But I prefer beef. you know, because it tastes good, honestly. Like, but I guess that's up to opinion. ATOX looking to start the half in a very quick fashion. Annihilation taking names. Dobu chiming in. And the round, blink and you'll miss it, might be done in seconds.
Yeah, that's just complete capitulation at the hands of Annihilation in mid. And even Flynn's chiming in for one. Meerkat, again, familiar face at the end of the round. Not much left to compare for him either.
Bada bing, bada boom. A flawless one. Only Annihilation and Zest are tagged up, so it should be free helmets for the rest of the boys, which means it should be a cheeky little upgrade to a lot of these M4s, which is exactly what you're going to see here. And we've even got a quick tactical coming through from Born in Far East as we move into the second round of the half. There was no plant. It's probably just Glocks, and this is one of those situations where ATOX need to realize that, need to buy helmets, and they're smart gamers. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yep. Flynn's purchase will come through momentarily, no doubt. But they're not messing about. Might be hindered by a lack of utility, depending on which direction Born in Far East go. But I see no movement on the monetary side of things. There's no purchases coming in, so we'll see what they run.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not going to need utility here. ATOX, I would say, but look, man, it's Asian CS. This could be anything.
That's true.
Expect
you never know what you're going to
unexpected.
get. Like a box of chockies. That's chocolate for anyone that doesn't understand shortened, butchered words that Australians do. It's actually my specialty.
Butchering words.
Mm-hmm.
Annihilations is butchering anti-ecos. Butchering is the eco cobra.
Oos, 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 oos. Don't sell us snake oil, mate. Not like this. Lacchio wants none of it. Oh, but he's ran into the mag of it instead. It's the worst of two evils. Very unfortunate for him, but ATOX going to be happy as Larry with 9 rounds on the board and even that swag 7 kill as they move into what I guess we're going to call a bonus because no one had to really reinvest except utility. They're going to be happy.
Even the Mag 7's been carried over to this round. So Flynn really is going to be the bank of ATOX, I would say. Even on the last half, we saw him taking sort of those money man entry roles as well. So more of the same.
Kaito
Extending.
Tucking, waiting. ATOX loving this aggression, trying to be the move makers, and the moves they've made have not worked well for the start of the round. Dobu, late trade, and the spacing not great from Born in the Far East, so they are going to be very isolated at the top of mid. The trades will come through eventually. Flynn with aggression, Solo and BAPS with a man advantage has gone south, and it looks like the A site. Oh, I was going to say is wide open. It certainly is now with Mick falling. And Annihilation, a 1v3 angle. There is money in the bank, but it's the CT side, and you've already got a pretty big lead. So maybe an upgrade to one of those AKs, those juicy, juicy AKs at the top of mid is the thought process here. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, there's not really too much else on offer, right? Like, total lack of information. He might stick around to try and take a scalp, but his chances of taking the round are pretty slim.
No
Maybe
kit there either.
Oh, did he make a step? An audible?
I think so. Bro, I'm really angry. I was holding shift the other day, and I didn't, like, bump any other buttons. I didn't take my finger off a shift. But when I jumped onto one of the wooden boxes on Ancient near Shelf, even though I did not take my finger off of shift, I made like a landing wood sound when I landed on the stuff. And I'm like,
sub-ticked. You've been sub-ticked.
I was, I got real angry, and it completely changed how I played the end of the round, and then I lost the round, and I was,
You got ticked off.
CS2. Yeah, I got real ticked off. Got sub-ticked off.
There's no worse place to be than sub-ticked off. It's a round win to board in Far East, and it's going to replenish their stocks. But as you said with ATOX, there was plenty of money in the bank. Flynn is just playing that banker role, per se. Some conditioning at play as well. Born in Far East, kind of forced into taking later mid control if they want it, but for the moment, just watching and waiting for this push. ATOX have got some pretty heavy presence towards mid as well. Flynn this time, not so aggressive.
Ooh. Dobu says boo. Pokes his little head up, and that's going to be a nicer start to the round for Murakumo. Great entries at mid, disappears with those smokes still up as well, and in the meanwhile, Flynn trying to take some space on the other side of the map, but him falling means, again, that man advantage is lost, and Born in Far East are in with a shot here.
Yeah, Win could have faked them out a little bit. Oh, that's a shot for Annihilation. It should have been hit. I thought maybe they could play that fake off with that flash. It would have kept Annihilation in check, but they've opted to go straight for this B site. Calling the audible now. That Molotov's going to push him even further into the open, and Mick is there with waiting arms to cover that wrap around the pole. That was a round on a knife's edge.
In other greater APAC news, it's looking like FlyQuest are about to beat Rooster, but Rooster, who haven't been playing much CS lately, or too many solid games, convincing games is the better term, have managed to take him to OT on map 1 and also managed to get 9 rounds on him on Inferno, which is pretty solid considering how FlyQuest have been playing in the last month or so.
Yeah.
That being said, this game,
oh man,
I thought it was firing up, but it looks like ATOX has suppressed them for a moment. Annihilation with the orb, going to be able to crack some skulls. Ooh, speaking of, okay, Born in Far East still in it to win it. Zesta going solo, going to be able to find his. And now Flynn needs to find his, but can he?
Well, it's Flynn into the wind. That bomb's still yet to be collected. Wynn's just trying to make sure that he doesn't get caught by any of these angles. Got lots of time to play with as well. And I think Flynn, he's got the power of position. He's still going to push, though.
He might have seen the shadow there as well.
Yeah.
There is a chance. He gets it. That was less climactic than I thought. It was very much anticlimactic, but look, we'll own it.
Yeah.
Great clutch, Flynn. Solid. He got his in the end.
I mean, Flynn was in the best position you could be in a 1v1, in that sort of situation for a C team. And that's, well, I mean, this round's just going to be something similar to the last. I got the hero AKs coming out. No real utility to work with, though. So there's not going to be too much to layer in here. They're just going to have to bust on in and hope that the AKs are going to pave enough of a path for the rest of Born the Far East, or Beef as you wanted to call them.
BIFE.
BIFE.
What an acronym. Living that BIFE life. And unfortunately, Kaito will not, because he's dead. Great flasher to A main. ATOX calculated aggression towards the mid-round, has found them a lot more control at A, and even sent that bomb scurrying away back to mid, where at least there is going to be some BIFE control. Flynn's got a big job on his hands.
It certainly does.
Ooh, I really wish he stayed deep in apps, but he's managed to get that pick onto Murakumo, who was solo on short. And now there's a chance for ATOX to posture here, but they are very aware of Lakio's potential position in jungle, and even on a single digit of health, he'll find some impact. Drawing attention back towards him as that bomb is slowly and silently making its way through apartments. Flynn, he wants to try to find the angle here, but the timing...
No. What is this?
Oh!
The distraction, it works. And now Flynn's got to run around like a madman. Just got to try and kite that player in apps.
We thought Annihilation was going for that transfer then. Gave it a crack, and we'll try to take this one-on-one. The Deagle, 3 taps it took, and with 3 left in the clip, Win still on for a chance, even if he hits shots like that. Big 1 dig to close it out, and 7 keeps Bife in the game.
One final gust for Wind. And they're still somehow in this. They get it done. I thought they were going to be put on a rotisserie in that round, but not to be the case. And still they keep on kicking. The city economy, it's got to take a little breather. They'll be able to run with the same aggression they normally do. And this is going to be a big info play coming out for Mick. Might be able to catch that player in apartments. Okay. It's happened exactly that way. Dobu's just kicked things off in mid. Mick's caught one out in apartments, and suddenly it's total collapse for Bourne in the Far East. They're still, well, they've got no territory to work with, do they? They're all kind of filtered into mid now, and they're all just going to be picked to pieces, Mac. Picked to pieces.
Yeah, seems to be one of those situations. Wind, though, clutched the last 1v2. Has another shot here, but he's giving the CT time to get closer and closer, and Zesta will get the angle eventually, put its 12th on the board, and ATOX are 1 away from taking the first map this evening. Can they get it done? Can they put it in the back pocket and at least get another point on the board for season 47 of Asia Pacific here at ESL Challenger League? That's the big question. And it should be quite easy. Keyword there is should, because Bife still have at least 1 AK in the mix, a couple of SMGs and those Galils to find some kind of damage. Top mid smoke going to be thrown, but they aren't committing just yet. Nobu, Nate could polish off Murakumo. It certainly will. Split into mid with the bottom pressure is going to be good enough until they both just eat up that HE. And Kaido not going to be able to keep himself in it. 13-7. The final scoreline as ATOX fend Bife off of Mirage.
Yeah, that was a fairly fast and furious round too.